Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going back to the physical and magical domain of wind. The fire and lightning bosses seem to be very squishy, but for some reason this wind boss is just really bulky compared to the other ones. I'm not sure if they like messed up his stats or something, but for whatever reason, he's just a lot bulkier than usual for a day one boss. So we're going to go back for another clear. This is going to be like a full budget clear. We're not using any good gear or anything. We're using mostly old units. And we're going to use Arden. And you can use any DPS you want, but you want a good finisher. The stronger the better. We're going to use Arden because he's non-elemental, but you can use pretty much anyone you want. So the boss, just so you know, does magical and physical earth damage, as well as single target physical that you're going to evade. So we're just going to use Elena to give us a 100% earth resist buff. And then we're going to jump with Arden and then do some damage. And we'll go ahead and do the clear, then I'll show the gear. The gear is really cheap. As long as your units are not in the negative for earth resist, you'll be fine. Alright, so we're going to use Poppy to go ahead and triple. We're going to do no negative Nancy's to fill LB gauge. We're going to Wind Imbue, and we're going to Yay to fill LB gauge again. Alright, we're going to use Jessie to just go ahead and LB to break the boss. We're going to use Bart to amplify wind, do a attack buff as well as a beast killer, and then Raging Winds to grant chain frames to the party. Elena will just do refragmentation for 100% wind resist, or 100% all resist, but specifically for earth actually, not wind. We're going to go ahead and critical on Bart. What is elemental doesn't really matter. We're already imbued because of Poppy. And then we will spread these buffs. So we'll go ahead and do this first. And then Arden will just jump on turn 1. So the boss is going to do some earth attacks. We're immune. Some single target stuff. Jessie is our provoker with evasion. There's the AoE earth damage, but we mitigated it, or we resisted it. Okay, so Bart gave us AR frames. They're all single wielding, so they're going to all single AR. This is just for the chain count score primarily. And then Elena's going to go to the base form, and we're going to triple. And we're going to start with using her Magnus for the sword in peril, and then just double salvation, and then Zahn will triple bolting strike with, with Arden. So we're going to bolting, and we did the break and imperil with Jessie's LB on turn 1, so that's already handled. And we're going to go ahead and chain all this up, and then we're going to wait just a moment for the chain to build, then we're going to drop Arden, and then the sword imperil from Elena will apply for Arden. So go ahead and chain this. Once the chain is built a little bit, go ahead and drop Arden, and that should damage cap. I didn't quite see what the damage was. There we go. And single casted AR is very easy to chain. So that was 90 chain from the AR users, and then Zahn and Elena chained as well. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I didn't even look. Oh, yeah, we did way more damage. We did 3 times more damage than we technically needed. So there we go. And okay, let's go ahead and show the team and the gear and all. Perfect score. So that's a pretty cheap team. So Poppy, I think, is just using enough HP to not kill herself. So I think she needs 9,000 HP or more to not kill herself on turn 1. Single wielding a weapon. We're not dual wielding, so it makes it really easy to AR chain. And she did the Wind Imbue with green color scheme, just imbues wind. And then we did no negative Nancy, that fills 30 LB. And then we did Yay, that fills 5 LB. So that was 35 LB filled. Jessie is using Call the Wild. I can't click. Call the Wild. So 35 plus 8 to Call the Wild, and as long as her LB is levels 27 or higher, that's enough to get her LB guaranteed on turn 1. So we can do her LB for 87% break and 120 in peril. Other than that, she's passive provoke evasion, geared for that super easy, and using a single wield weapon. Bart's in the shift form. Single wielding, it's all that matters. He did a 300% attack buff that we stole, a 100% Beast Killer that we stole. And then he also did Raging Winds to give the party AR frames for chaining. And then he did Blessed Wind Crystal for 45% Wind Amplify. And, he chained on turn 2. Elena in the shift form is naked. All she did in the shift form was Refragmentation for the 100% Earth Resist buff. That allowed us to skip resist gearing. It's not important, but it's just a way to skip resist gearing. We didn't gear her for damage. You could have if you needed to for more extra damage. As you saw, Arden heavily overkilled it. And she started off with the 25% Sword in Peril for damage. Zahn is just using whatever. Make sure he's using his TMR or STMR so he can triple cast. He stole buffs on turn 1, chained on turn 2. Arden, again, this is a budget build, so we're using all cheap gear. Using TMRs, swords for the Imperil. Those give jump damage using the Chronicle chest, some jump damage accessories, and then some killers. This is all basically cheap or free stuff, and then his own card. And yeah, he did big damage on Ifrit. Maxed Beast Killer, 750 jump damage, and there we go. And of course, if you've got things like, the Ultimate Blades, you can definitely make a way stronger Arden, but we were trying to go for a budget run. In any case, there was that clear, so we will see you guys tomorrow for the final boss. See you next time.